story of 3D coordinate geometry. 3D means 3 dimension. Up till now we have seen about 2 dimensions. And when we talk about 3D geometry, we also have the coordinate system, a different coordinate system. It's equivalent to the coordinate system, Cartesian coordinate system, which we know. But we are going to add one more dimension. So you have to have some imagination. So you need to understand like this. Just assume that you have 2 eyes. If one eyes would have been there, you won't be able to perceive the depth, that is 3D. Because of 2 eyes, you have that depth perception, parallax, depth perception, height perception. So this is how the world is a 3D for you. All the objects are 3D for you, 3-dimensional. This screen which you are able to see, it's 2D. It's 2D. 3D means 3 dimension. So if I make 2D, this is simple Cartesian plane. If I have a point, if this is x-axis, this one is y-axis, so you can easily tell me that I go on in x direction, say x1 length, and then I move towards y direction, then I go some length y2. So this point coordinate can be exactly located as x1, y1. So x1 is the distance from the y-axis and y1 is the distance from the x-axis. Okay? But when we come to 3D geometry, then we have a third dimension. So just see, assume that you have a room. In your room, you will have a floor, you have four walls, you have a floor also, floor, roof, and 4 walls. Okay? Now, if here in your room, this is a fan, say it's a hanging fan. If somebody tells you that what is the coordinate of this fan, in mathematics always the x is in here, pointed here, y on this side. So I am just adding this, okay, and I am renaming it. This is now x and y is this one and z is this one. Okay, so we have x here. This is the trivial thing. We have been using x in this direction. So now we are walking, or you are coming to x length in x direction. Now you are going in y direction, say y1 length. So this direction you are moving. So the coordinate of x1, y1, z1 we have to find out. And you have to move x1 direction in the x-axis direction. And then you have to go or turn in y direction. Then you go up. In this z direction. So this z direction, so you have taken 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. In earlier 2D, you took 2 steps. Here you took x direction, y direction, then also went up to the third direction. So this is how x1, y1, z1 can be located. Now you may have a question that why don't you go to z first and then y and then x? Okay. So the content remains the same. Ultimately, you have to reach that x1, y1, z1. But previously or conventionally, we always take x first, y first, and then z first. So this is x, y, z coordinates. Basically, these are the length of the path you have taken to reach x1, y1, z1. So when you have x in one direction, negative x will be in the opposite direction. So x is positive, x is negative, y also up, y is positive, y is negative in the negative direction. Similarly here, so I'll just exemplify it. Now this is a figure. Just assume that you are living in a 2-story building, and each floor has 4 rooms. In all, there will be 8 rooms. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rooms. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the first floor. First floor and ground floor. So the first floor has your room, your brother room, your sister room, and your mama papa's room. And in the below one, this is where you're living. Your brother in the back side, on the other side your sister, and just by your side is your mama papa. and in the below you have given it for the rent. Okay, so in 2D, if you can see the front view, that you are living here, front view is clear. So you go X, you go Y, you go X, you go Y. So your position in XY dimension you can tell. But in 3D form, so I'm just changing it. As I said, conventionally we take this as X, this as Y, this as Z. Now, see, from here to here it's X. What about backside? Negative X. Analogy with the previous Cartesian system. So if you have X is this direction, negative X will be in the opposite direction. If you have Y here, where you are staying, the reference always plus plus plus. If you and your brother, which is on the back side, if you change your room with your sister, here is your sister, then the reference will change. Okay, your reference will change. So it totally depends on where you live or where you are referencing. Depending upon which octant you are taking, the references will change. So minus X will be the opposite of X. Wherever you are living or where is the reference, all will take positive. So this is Y, and where your mother father is living on just by the side, it's minus Y. It's minus Y. Now Z, this is where you live, and for your family, all mother, father, brothers, all this will be positive. But when you go down, all for your people who are on rent, this will be negative Z. First floor, positive Z. First floor, and the ground floor, negative Z. So if I say 2, 2, 2, where it will be? First is positive, second is positive, third is positive, where it will be? Or first is negative, second is positive, third is positive, where it will be? First is positive, second is negative, third is negative, where it will be? Yes, you can tell me. So just let me tell you before we have a question, don't worry about that. We have proper questions about that. So let me tell you that these are planes. Planes, wherever you are standing, it has to be a plane in your house. So it's samtal, it's plane. So the floor in which you live, or the ground floor where your neighbor or the person who is your tenant is living, is a plane. So where the place where you're living, this is Y direction, this is Z. So this will be YZ plane. YZ plane. Always remember XYZ is taken in the clockwise direction. That means you don't say ZY plane, you will say YZ plane. This yellow one, because it comes in the intersection of X and Y, XY plane. What about your wall? You have a TV here. So what is this plane where your TV is there? It's XZ plane. Okay. So every reference, this plane will change. So all these yellow which you see here are XY plane. Your brother is here, or he is also standing on XY plane. So for a brother which is just living next room is XY plane. So blue is also XZ for your brother, and the green is also YZ for your brother. So YZ, all yellow which you see is XY plane. All green you see is YZ plane. All blue which you see is XZ plane. Now let us come here. Now I told you about plus minus. This is X, this is Y, this is Z. So you are standing here. With your reference, I am taking all positive. If you have been living in some other room, those will be positive. So the reference is going to change. We are not changing it here, but X, Y, Z, positive. If I ask you 1, 2, 3, you will say first octant, first quadrant. Actually, there are 8 rooms. So there are 8 quadrants, 8 octants. 8 rooms in your house is 8. In 3D, we don't call it as quadrant, we call it as octant, because quad means 4. In 2D, you have four parts. In octant, we have oct means 8. Oct means 8. So you have 8 rooms. Now tell me which octant. 1, 2, 3. Which one? Oct means 8. Let me tell you again. So you get octant here. So you are standing here. X is 1, Y is 2, and Z is 3. So x is positive, y is positive, z is positive. That means plus plus plus. So you are in the first quadrant or first octant. First octant. Now tell me 4 minus 2, 3. X is positive, y is negative. Y is negative. X is positive and y is negative. That means take y and go in the opposite direction. With your reference, you have y as the reference. Now take negative y. Go in the other room, which is where your mother father is living. So x minus y. How about 3? This is positive, so this is z. So you're talking about here. That is mama papa's room. So you have 4 minus 2, 3. Two of the axes is similar to you, x and y, but the the xz is similar, but y is negative. So this is your first, second, third, fourth. So you have fourth quadrant where your mother father is living. It's fourth quadrant. Now if I ask you 4 minus 2 minus 5, x is plus with your reference. X is plus, so you're talking about this. How about y? Y is negative. So you go in the opposite direction, that is your mother father's direction. Now z is also negative. So you are not talking about your floor, you are going to your tenant's floor. So the below one. So you are talking about below one. Okay. So we are talking about this quadrant. So you have x positive, y negative, z negative. So this is the point which I am pointing. This is that quadrant. This is that quadrant. So you have 8th quadrant. Okay. 8th quadrant. Your quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 5th quadrant will start just below you. Now let me tell you one more. 4 minus 4, 2 minus 5. X is negative. So you go in the back direction. Okay, this direction. Y is positive. So you are in the here positive direction. Y positive direction. Negative. This is negative. So you are going below. So wherever your brother is living, just below that, whichever tenant is living is that quadrant. So here, it's here. Okay. So which one is this? Which one is this? Minus 4, 2 and minus 5 is 6th quadrant. Okay. Now see, you have a fan. I told you had a fan. Now there is a television also on one of the wall. Now somebody tells you that this is a corner of the TV and there is the corner of one of the fan wing. Tell me the distance. How do you find it? You'll say, how am I going to tell you? 2D I know. You have x1, y1, x2, y2. I just take the distance formula. Okay. I just take the distance formula. x1, y1, x2, y2. So I just do x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square and under root. This is the normal distance. So we can also find out any midpoint also. x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. This I know. But whenever this 3D come, there is an addition of one more coordinate or one more dimension, which is z dimension. x1 y1 z1, x2 y2 z2. This is 2 points, x1 y1 z1, x2 y2 z2, and this just add plus. I am adding plus z2 minus z1 whole square. You just have to add this. This only you have to do. If you want to find out the midpoint, x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2, and the third coordinate will be z1 plus z2 by 2. z1 plus z2 by 2. In order to find out distance between 4, 1, 1 and minus 3, 2, 0, you take 4 minus 3 whole square, 1 minus 2 whole square, 1 minus 0 whole square, under root. So you have 41, under root 41. If you want to find out the midpoint, 4 plus minus 3 by 2, 1 plus 2 by 2 and 1 plus 0 by 2. Okay. There is one more thing, which is section formula. In 2D we have seen, in 3D also we have section formula. So we have a certain point in between 2 points. It can be in between, it can be somewhere between 2 coordinates, 2 points. So if I make a line, if I say just find me a point which divides this, do a line which is being joined in 5:8 or 2:3. So we take one as m, one as n. One is m, one is n. When m and n are equal, we are saying it is a midpoint. It is a midpoint, M and N. So this is what we call as section formula, because we would need to find out the middle, the point which is in between. So we have this A, this is B, these are 2 points. It will be in 3D. So it is internally dividing. C is internally dividing AB in certain ratio. But if I want to divide it externally, say A and B are divided, C is dividing 5:8. So if I have a C which is externally dividing, so I have to take CA and CB, that is CB is to CA, that is 5:8 or that is 8:5. Okay, we always take whichever point we are taking outside, we have to take the distance of these with the points CA, CB. We won't consider AB. CA, CB, C is the outside point, and it has to divide this CA and CB ratio has to be 5:8 or A:5 or 2:3 or K:1. Now section formula, let me explain you. You don't have to go to the all nitty gritty, but just to give you an idea. So I have 2 points A and B. There is a point M which is dividing A and B internally. So we have A coordinate, B coordinate. With A and B coordinate, I am making a whole cube. So we have whole cube. So we have made a cube so that it make us easy, because this is one is XY plane parallel to XY plane, one is parallel to YZ plane, the other is parallel to XZ plane. So we have made 2 planes from A and B. So we got a cube, or you can say we got a parallelepiped. Now I dropped a perpendicular M to the base, and one more perpendicular from the AC to E. Let me show you. I am talking about ABC. AB is the actual line we are talking about. M is the point which is dividing AB, and AC is a line on the plane which we drew parallel, just for our convenience. Okay. So we have a ratio when we join, when we have MN parallel to BC, we have a ratio. In triangle we have learned AM by AB equals AN by AC equals MN by BC. This already we have seen. So we have one more triangle here. I am talking about ABC, but one more triangle is there, ACD. This triangle which is in the floor, you can say. So this triangle, again same thing we are going to do. My triangle is not well made, but still भावनाओं को समझे. ACD. So you have this N and this is E. N is simply the perpendicular drop from M to the base. So this AN by AC equals AE by AD equals NE by CD. Okay. Now these are 2 relationships which we got. So both the triangles have a relationship, triangular relationship. But I am saying this AB is what? AB, I am saying it is this M point is dividing it into M:N ratio. M:N ratio. So AM by AB, in place of AM, I can write M. This middle point is capital M. So AM is M, and AM plus MB, which is AB. So M plus N. What is AE by AD? AE by AD is eventually equal to MN by BC, which is eventually equal to NE by CD, because we have 2 relationships from 2 different triangles. Okay. So AE by, I can write always AE by AD, then I can equate it with MN by BC and NE by CD. Right? So AE is what? MN is what? NE is what? So let me tell you about AE and AD, others you will understand. What is AE? See, this is AE. AE, the point of A is x1, y1, z1. The point of B is x2, y2, z2. The point is B is x2, y2, z2. And what is the point M? You have to imagine, right? What is point M? X, Y, Z. You have point X, Y, Z. So when you have AE, basically this A point is x1. And the M point is total x. M is x. If you subtract this AE, this x with x1, you will get AE. AE, but subtract x1 from x. In order to get AD, just subtract x2 with x1 from x2. So there will be a relationship. I told you that you don't have to go to the detail. I'm just explaining you. So if you equate each of them, you'll get x as mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n, y as my2 plus ny1 by m plus n, z as mz2 plus nz1 by m plus n. So if you don't remember the proof also, which I just showed you, it's just for your understanding that how this proof has come. Otherwise, you have to just remember the formula. Now, this is for internal section. How about the externally, a point which is dividing externally this line? Just put n as minus n. Just put n as minus n. So it will be mx2 minus nx1 by m minus n. Then you have my2 minus ny1 by m minus n, replacing n by n minus n. mz2 minus nz1 by m minus n. So these are the points external division. That is C is somewhere here, and AC by M. If I take M outside, say this is M. So AM by BM, or AM is to BM, is your M is to N. M is to N. Okay. This is M, this is N. So this formula will be used. One more thing, if x1 and x2 are equal, that is, you will come to the midpoint. So this will be simply, because m is 1, n is 1, so x1 plus x2 by 2. And then you have y1 plus y2 by 2, because m and n are, you can put 1. So this is the midpoint. So this is the whole idea about 3D. And now we are ready for the questions. Okay. Thank you so much.